Shalom, Chavarim. Welcome to Matthew 25. Then let the kingdom of heaven be likened to those 10 virgins who took their lamps and went out for the meeting of the bride and the bridegroom. So this footnote says, some suggest that the Peshitta reading of bridegroom and the bride is not reflected in Greek manuscripts. However, according to the New Greek English Interlinear New Testament by Robert Brown and Philip Comfort, U.S. Bible Society 4th edition, Nestle Aland 26th edition, some ancient Greek texts, in fact, do agree with Peshitta. Without the bride, the passage allows for the virgins marrying one man. While the Greco-Roman world permitted rich men to have multiple wives, this practice was frowned upon in Israel before and during Yeshua's day. The patriarch Yaakov, or Jacob, kings Dawid and Solomon, and others had more than one spouse, but technically speaking, Yahweh forbade it. Genesis 2:24 and Deuteronomy 17:17. See Basar Echad in appendix. Furthermore, Yeshua's own halacha on sex and marriage was stricter than even that of the Pharisees. Matthew 5:27-28. Yeshua would not promote this practice. Therefore, the Peshitta reveals that the 10 virgins are not the ones getting married, but are attached to the celebration of the bride and groom. Yeshua reveals with 10 women what Zechariah 8:23 does with men, indicating that there are other levels of prophetic fulfillment that require our investigation. Zechariah refers to 10 nations or tribes joining with Yehuda in the latter days. Mashiach, of course, is the king of Yehuda. Consider that Yeshua is both king through the line of Yehuda and high priest, Hebrews 7:15-8:1. As a result, the 10 virgin tribes are invited to Yeshua's wedding. However, there are several levels here that reveal Mashiach's universal government. The 10 virgins refers to peoples expecting to be part of Mashiach Yeshua's government, but only 5 are permitted to enter. The bride of Mashiach is a metaphor for the New Jerusalem, Revelation 21:2. Gentiles are ultimately called to worship in Sion, Zion, some being made priests and Levites, Isaiah 66. Another level of interpretation refers to apostate Jews who turn to Yahweh and observe Torah in Mashiach. Yeshua's true bride represents that portion of humanity which has been purified by acting in faith and obedience to Yahweh, by keeping his commandments and trusting in the perfection of the blood atonement of Yeshua Mashiach ben Yosef. Revelation 22:14-17. Verse 2. Now 5 of them were wise and 5 were foolish, and those foolish virgins took their lamps but did not take oil with them. But those wise virgins took oil in vessels with their lamps. Now when the bridegroom delayed, they slumbered and slept. And in the middle of the night there was an outcry, "Behold, the bridegroom comes, go out for his meeting." Then all those virgins arose and prepared their lamps. And those foolish virgins were saying to the wise, "Give us some of your oil, for behold, our lamps have gone out." These wise virgins answered and said, What if there is not enough for us and for you? Rather go to those who sell and buy for yourselves. And while they went to buy, the bridegroom came, and those who were ready entered with him into the banquet hall, and the door was locked. Now later also came those other virgins, and were saying, our master, open the door for us." Then he answered and said to them, Truly I say to you that I do not know you. Following 25:1, this parable ends with the foolish virgins being locked out of the feast. Since the bridegroom is Mashiach, the feast that he holds for his bride and his guests must be the food of eternal life and the well of living water. Like other parables with servants and talents, Yeshua teaches that unwise stewardship of blessings or teachings results in being locked out of salvation. Verse 13, be alert, therefore, for you do not know that day or hour. For it is like a man who went on a journey. He called his servants and delivered his possessions to them. There was one he gave 5 talents, another 2, and another 1, each man according to his ability. And he immediately went on a journey. Now he who received 5 talents went and traded with them and gained 5 more. And likewise also he who received 2 traded and gained 2 others. But he who received 1 went and dug in the ground and hid the money of his master. Now after a great time the master came and received an account from them of those servants. And he who received 5 talents and brought 5 others drew near and said, My master, you gave me 5 talents. Behold, I have added 5 others to them. And he said to him, Well done, good and faithful servant. You have been faithful over a little. I will appoint you over much. Enter into the joy of your master. So footnote 242, followers of Mashiach enter into his joy in the here and now. Each commandment and every word that proceeds from Yahweh is a vessel that brings joy to all who enter. For example, the 7th-day Shabbat is kadosh, set apart unto Yahweh. The joyful memorial he gave at the time of creation will continue into the Olam Haba'ah, the world to come. Yahweh's Shabbat, Isaiah 56:4, is of the renewed covenant Yahweh made with Israel and Yehuda, or Judah, from Jeremiah 31:31 to 34. Entering into the joy of Shabbat foreshadows the kingdom, and it is for all who seek Yahweh and his Mashiach. Grace empowers the soul to enter in and do Torah. This is how each soul can taste and see that Yahweh is good. Psalm 34. Jeremiah 31:31, a new covenant. Behold, the days are coming, says Yahweh, and when I will make with the house of Israel and with the house of Judah a covenant new, not according to the covenant that I made with their fathers in the day that I took them by the hand to lead them out of the land of Egypt, which they broke. My covenant, and through I was a husband to them, says Yahweh. But this is the covenant that I will make with the house of Yisrael after days those, says Yahweh. I will put my law in their minds and on their hearts write it. And I will be their Elohim, and they shall be my people. And no shall teach more every man his neighbor and every man his brother, saying, Know Yahweh, for all they shall know me, from the least of them and to the greatest of them, says Yahweh. For I will forgive their iniquity, and their sin, no, I will remember more. Psalm 34, a psalm of David when he pretended madness before Abimelech, and who drove him away, and he departed. I will bless Yahweh at all times continually. His praise shall be in my mouth. In Yahweh shall make its boast. My soul shall hear of it, the humble, and be glad. Oh, magnify Yahweh with me, and let us exalt his name together. I sought Yahweh, and he heard me, and from all my fears delivered me. They looked to him and were radiant, and their faces not were ashamed. This poor man cried out, and Yahweh heard him, and out of all his troubles saved him. Encamps the Malach of Yahweh all around those who fear him and delivers them. O taste and see that good is Yahweh. Blessed is the man who trusts in him. Yareh, Yahweh, you his saints, for there is no want to those who fear him. Yareh, pitch tents with him. The young lions lack and suffer hunger, but those who seek Yahweh not shall lack any good thing. Come, you children, listen to me. The fear of Yahweh I will teach you. Yireh. Who is the man who desires life and loves many days, that he may see good? Keep your tongue from evil and your lips from speaking deceit. Depart from evil and do good. Seek peace and pursue it. The eyes of Yahweh are on the righteous, and his ears are open to their cry. The face of Yahweh is against those who do evil, to cut off from the earth the remembrance of them. The righteous cry out, and Yahweh hears, and out of all their troubles delivers them. Near is Yahweh to those who have a broken heart, and such as have a contrite spirit saves. Many are the afflictions of the righteous, but out of them all delivers him, Yahweh. He guards all his bones, one of them not is broken. Shall slay the wicked evil, and those who hate the righteous shall be condemned. Redeems Yahweh the soul of his servants, and none shall be condemned of those who trust in him. So that footnote was, enter into the joy of your master. And he who received 2 talents drew near and said, My master, you gave to me 2 talents. Behold, I have added 2 others to them. His master said to him, Well done, good and faithful servant. You have been faithful over a little. I will appoint you over much. Enter into the joy of your master. And he who received 1 talent drew near also and said, My master, you are known to be a hard man, and that you reap where you have not sown, and you gather from where you have not scattered. So I was afraid and went and hid your talent in the ground. Behold, you have what is yours. His master answered and said to him, Evil and lazy servant, so it is known that I reap where I have not sown, and I gather from where I have not scattered. For you would have been right to have placed my money in the exchange, and I would have come and demanded its interest and my principal. Therefore, take away the talent from him and give it to him who has 10 talents. Or to him who has, it will be given to him, and it will increase to him. But he who does not have, even that which he has will be taken from him. And the idle servant was thrown into the outer darkness. There will be weeping and gnashing of teeth. And when the Son of Man comes in his glory, and all his set apart messengers with him, then he will sit upon the throne of his glory, and all the nations will be gathered before him, and he will separate them one from another, as a shepherd separates the sheep from the goats. And he will set the sheep at his right and the goats at his left. Then the king will say to those who are at his right, Come, you blessed of my Father, inherit the kingdom which has been prepared for you from the foundations of the world. For I was hungry, and you gave to me food to eat, and I was thirsty, and you gave me drink. I was a stranger, and you took me in. I was naked, and you covered me. I was sick, and you visited me. And I was in prison, and you came to me. Then those will say to him, our righteous master, when did we see that you were hungry and fed you, or that you were thirsty and gave you drink? And when did we see that you were a stranger and take you in, or that you were naked and covered you? And when did we see you sick or in prison and come to you? The king will answer and say to them, truly I say to you, inasmuch as you have done it to one of the least of these, my brothers, you did it to me. Then he will say to those that are on his left, you cursed, go away from me to the everlasting fire, that which is prepared for the adversary and his messengers. For I was hungry, and you did not give me any food, and I was thirsty, and you did not give me drink, and I was a stranger, and you did not take me in, and I was naked, and you did not cover me, and I was sick and in prison, and you did not visit me. Even then they will answer and say, our master, when did we see you hungry or thirsty or a stranger or naked or sick or in prison and did not minister to you? Then he will answer and say to them, truly I say to you, inasmuch as you did not do to one of these little ones, you also did not do it to me. And these will depart to everlasting torment, but the righteous to everlasting life.